Good morning, everybody. It's Vapix here from Subjugated Gaming, bringing you Horus Heresy Legions. Now, this is the World Cup semi-finals, Team Australia versus Team France. Now, at the time of recording this video, one of my teammates, that being Mercury or Big PP, depending on how you know him, fought Ornithol and a previous War Master as well. And my teammate won, Big PP, Ornithol 2-1 in some very close matches. That was really awesome. Pretty sure those games are over on Mr. Midnight's page, so go check them out if you know that, because they were some very good games. Now, so we're currently 1-0 up, and I am versing Caliron, however you say it. Now, unfortunately, the Thousand Suns nerf had come in before we played these games, and I was on Ahriman, and he had no Thousand Suns Warlord. So my plan was to play Santa into Ahriman against his stuff, and unfortunately with the Ahriman nerf, it really put me in a bad spot for it. So that's really unfortunate, and I did not want to play Khan because he's playing Horus, Corax, and Guilliman, all of which, except for really Corax, are really good matchups. Both Horus and Guilliman are very good against Khan because they have a lot of direct damage and stuff like that. Corax can go either way. I can just play around and stuff like that. That'd be fine, but it was way too risky because it's not even a good matchup against Corax. So we are going to show these matches. I decided that the best bet either way is I'm going to open Santa, and he's most likely going to open Horus. So I did tech towards it in the games, and you'll see some of that in there. But let's get into the first game, and I'll talk you through my plays. Alright, so here's game one. Now, as predicted, he played Horus, and I bet he was thinking I was going to play Santa. We get Galba Squad and Command Bridge, and with these that are opening hand, I decided to keep those two because I think they're fun. And you can see we've got Ravage City and Nebula. And I'm going to put some sound effects on this, which is a good opening hand for us. He draws two on his first turn, swings at us. That's fine. He wants to be as fast as possible against us because if we get to the heals, we win. So it goes to us. We Command Bridge straight up. And we get Widow of the Week because we know he's probably playing stuff that he wants to play in stealth, and Widow of the Week gets around that for us. And then we play City, knowing that he's probably just going to want to draw in his turn, especially how he already used the draw card turn 1. So average City making his ability cost 4 is actually really great for us, and it cycles us. So really great there. And yeah, see, it forces him to attack instead of drawing. That gives us a little bit of advantage there, which is nice. He does have the smoke grenade there, but of all times for him to use that, right there is actually really fine for us. Like, we could get 2 damage in at this stage, but it's like, whatever. Luckily for us, we do top deck Sister. So that feels good. Play, end turn. Feeling good about that. Now he has a great turn here. He drops his 5-3, which I'm like, okay. Nah, that's fine. We'll just sacrifice this and play Widow. Like, oh, are you going to draw? Oh, no, you're going to meld. So that's really rough for us. That was such an amazing turn for him because we can't kill this and Widow with the Week this all in the one turn. It's way too risky to just go for the 50-50. That's an amazing turn for him. So here we decide, okay, let's just set up. Let's Carapace, and let's just set up. Alright, we swing there, that way it dies if he swings back, or we can kill it easily. He's going to swing with this, and hopefully one of the pings go there. Like, we're going to see what goes here. There's no point in counter-attacking because he was just going to swing with this. Now, he plays Terror Hounds here, and I was like, oh, wasn't expecting you to play that, but it makes sense because he was expecting potentially to play Khan, and that card's amazing against Khan. Now, pings are kind of average because it hits here and here, but we do get out of this quite nicely because of what our top deck was. We shield up, we swing there. Then we land the Corvin Squad here to get rid of it. Now, a bit of a waste of damage or whatever, but put something on field that now he has to deal with. So we're feeling okay there. We've got Medusan up. Not the best for us. We'd prefer the heals, but it is what it is. It helped us out in that sense. He plays his second one, and that feels really bad for us. Now here he plays very smart, knowing that he does want to get rid of this, but knowing my only way to deal with this is probably to play Widow. So he plays very well there. We get double ping on face. Was hoping one to go there, but again, that doesn't really matter too much for us at this stage. It's an extra bit of damage there. It sucks we have to take it. I would have liked the ping to go there, but it is what it is. We Widow the Week there as he'd expect. Now that is kind of dangerous because if he plays Malgahurst now, we're kind of stuffed. But we really had no other way around it. We could have played the captain, but if he had shot it with outflank, we would have been feeling pretty bad. Anyways, at this stage, he's pushing for damage for sure, which is totally fine. It's the way he should be playing it. Doesn't really matter what I draw at this stage if he's got Vengeful Spirit in hand, then I'm kind of stuffed. Now, we do have Nebula, so that does buy us a turn, which is nice. Again, double ping face instead of one ping here kind of sucks, but we'll take it. We get servo arm off the sister, which actually feels great for us. So we servo arm here. And we nebula, I think. Yeah. My other play thought was we play the captain, and then we play nebula, because that'll also heal us and have a front liner, and then maybe we can bash face and Pharah and stuff, but it wasn't going to be enough. This way, I'm healing. I go to 10. We can play captain the following turn, and it buys us time. Alright, that's all I'm thinking is here is we're buying time. Obviously, the rest of his hand is direct damage. The last 3 cards would be direct damage, otherwise he wouldn't sit on 7. At this stage, I'm absolutely expecting him to have Vengeful Spirit in hand. He's only got 14 cards left. We're feeling okay. We're not feeling the best. We land captain here. Now, unless he's got Vengeful Spirit, he's used both Frag Grenades, so Vengeful Spirit and Quickfire is what he needs to kill me here. Now, he obviously doesn't have it because he plays the outflank here, which does kind of suck for us, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. He swings face and uses the Smoke Grenade, which is fine. Unfortunately, that does stop us from being able to kill him here. Is that Stun Grenade? We end up being, I think... Oh, actually, no, we're a little bit of damage off. He gets the quick fire there. And at this stage, I'm like... I haven't got enough here. Like, there's nothing I can do. He's cycled enough. We get the ping damage there. We smack him here. If we were at 10 energy, 1 more energy up, we could have done it. I think. Actually, no. If he didn't stun this, and we were 1 more energy up, so it didn't really matter what we did here. We didn't have lethal, no matter the way we walked around it. So we just hit him for 5 because we can, and we end turn. And if he's got enough, he's got enough, right? Then he resupplies, and I'm like, does he not have the Vengeful Spirit? And I'm like, oh, I guess he doesn't. So he chariots me, and I'm like, well, he's going to kill me anyways. There's so many things in his deck that can kill me. And he's got the other fast unit. Okay. Lose game 1. I can cop that. That's fine. Horus is like that. This matchup does go either way in practice against a bunch of different people. I did end up winning this more than I lost it, but sometimes that's the way it goes, especially with those sorts of decks if he's going to be super rush. Into game 2, I decided to play Santar again. And obviously he's got to play Guilliman or Corax. Both of those are fine. Guilliman, you win off entropy. Like, you just get to the end and you have enough answers for anything he can play. And it gets to the end and you're healing for a turn and he's not. So that's fine. And then against Corax, it is what it is. It's kind of a fine matchup because you have enough board wipes to deal with their stealth units without actually having to run specific anti-stealth. But let's get into game 2. So in game 2, he opens Corax. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. We have a pretty good opening hand here. Could have thrown the Corvin squad, but I was like, with the Bandit Supplies, Lord Malk, and Command Bridges is fine. Was considering throwing Lord Malk, but I was like, no, it baits out a bike that I can then kill pretty easily. So that's what I'm expecting him to shoot me for 1 turn 1, me to play Lord Malk, and him to play Flank Bike. That's exactly what I'm expecting here. So he opens me, shoots me for 1, that's fine. Ravage City isn't the best in this matchup, but it was good against Gilly, and it's also good against some of his stealth things like Maw. And just as I thought, that happens. As you'd expect, which is totally fine. Attacks me because he needs the advantage, because if we go to long game, I win. Now, I'm thinking I'm just going to counter-attack and swing at it here. That's a good use to my counter-attack. Eating 4 damage feels good. But we abandon supplies into the Terric squad. I'm like, you know what? If we get the 50-50, which we did, we get the 50-50. Doesn't really matter either way. This way we just keep our counter-attack in hand for later on. Slight advantage there. And again, we get Widow the Weak here just in case he plays some big stealth thing that we don't like. Otherwise, we have enough cycle for next turn. Lands the Void Engagement. I'm like, okay. That's fine. Shoots there. That's fine. Again, we're going to get an extra 2 damage off that. That's feeling pretty fine here. Shoots in for 2 there, that's great. And I think we just cycle up a few times. So yeah, Abandoned Supplies. We got the 4, which feels good for us. The 4 and Counterattack was one of my favorite 2-card combos in this. Ferrum for 4 actually is pretty good for us, I think, here. All we do is shoot him for 2. We want to keep Ravage City for later. And we leave the Terric squad open for him to have to actually deal with. We're not trying to rush him down, we're trying to stall him. Now he just plays this, knowing we don't have any stealth. But his hand must be pretty bricky here if that's all he plays. The other card he might have in his hand is the 5-3 that gives Sentence 1 and Pings to 1, but I don't think he wants to play it when he doesn't have to because it's a 5-3, a Stardy, so our ability just wipes it straight off. Now, thinking about what I'm going to do for a while here, and doing the Ferrum here is just the best idea for me. I was thinking about shooting him for 5 and shielding and attacking, or playing the Corvin squad shielding and attacking, but I'm like, this is probably the best way of doing things, and we can still cycle. Probably should have cycled first just in case I drew anything I wanted to play, but that's fine. We got an extra Widow, which actually makes us feel good. Now, on my next turn, I do and ah about what I want to do, because our ability does just kill it, but unfortunately we don't have anything to play for 4 as well. And I feel as if I know this is a waste of damage, but getting something on board as a distraction, because the longer we go without him dealing damage to us, the closer we get to winning in this matchup. Anyways, he plays his Mortar Squad. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can have stealth there. Really don't mind. Unfortunately, again here, though, we really don't have a good turn. We really don't. All we have here is to shoot that because we have to get rid of it. We don't want to waste a Widow. And we really wanted to land Captain, but unfortunately we couldn't. So that felt pretty bad. Here, this is an amazing turn for him. This is his turn here is why I win. Is why this game goes so well. He plays both his ping for 1s, and that feels pretty great. And then he plays his Apothecary, which is fine. I top deck Melg, which actually makes me feel really good. I was just going to Widow it, but with the Melg, we can push it back a turn and have our Kragos down. I was considering having Kragos and then playing Nebula just to protect everything, but it is what it is. That's what I decided to do. He plays his Bike. Smacks it for 4, that's fine. And then he shoots it for 2. Now, could have got 6 damage on him if I'd played Nebula, but I'm kind of fine with how it turned out. Nebula's really great for later on, once I get some heals to buy me that extra turn, you know? So I do Amadan here for a while. We play, okay, let's play the draw first of all. And we get the Captain. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But at the end here, I do decide to play the Hammer. There was quite a few turns here where I took some time to think about it and decide what I want to do. And I decided the Hammer was the best there. Could have played the 4 with counterattack, but then we're losing damage off the Hammer and stuff like that. So I feel as if that was better. I really don't care if he gets stealth, because we're not really pushing damage that way. He cycles up a draw, that's fine. He lands Apothecary again, that's fine. And he gets stealth. So big turns here, again, we have to think about it a lot. We've got double server arm, was really considering just playing both. But I was like, no, we can't leave the Apothecary on field, and we do have a second Widow. I am arm between playing servo arm or the Captain, and I'm like, no, let's get the servo arm up. We can play the Captain later and get as much effect out of it, because he's probably just going to bounce it for 3. So I was like, getting servo arm up, getting the second servo arm, counter-attacking Nebula will save us a turn, we'll heal 4, it'll push us out of his lethal range, right? Because he's really pushing damage here. Everything he's doing here, he's used both of these now. He's do ping for 1s. He's used a couple of other things to be able to smack us for the face damage, right? So here I'm thinking, okay, we're within sort of lethal now. Let's get out of it. Obviously, get rid of his squad. We land the Captain this turn. Again, I was thinking servo arm, but with Nebula, this gives us some time. I was like, okay, this buys us the same amount of time and has a threat that he has to deal with. Command Bridge, I was fine with this. But what I wasn't fine with was his Reckoning. How long has it been since anybody's seen Corax's Reckoning go off, hey? I was like, that kind of sucks. I've got no anti-stealth. But it's kind of okay still, because we heal up to 17. We're feeling fine here. We have a 6-7 that's going to keep getting bigger. We play the second servo arm. And I'm like, he could potentially combo me down from 17 if he's clever. We land the other squad just to beef out the board. And we do counterattack here specifically, because I think that will save me from losing. I'm now healing 4 a turn. So my thought pattern is, if I heal 4, I'm on 21. That's going to keep pushing me out of lethal. The only time the counterattack is going to really help me out is right now. So I had to play it. Anyways, he bounces the Captain like we thought he would. Smacks me, gets rid of shield, and then pings us for damage. That's kind of all fine and dandy. He's running out. My thought is he's running out of damage. But I know that he's very close. You know, he can put sentence on me and stuff like that. So it's all very close. Getting the extra heal over there was kind of nice. I would have preferred it to face. Because of the, going to 19, I think really pushed me out of lethal. But that was fine. We feel our board again. Playing this for 7 kind of felt bad, but it didn't really matter. I thought it was interesting he decided to get rid of Dewback here rather than Captain, but when you see what he does, you'll understand why. Dewback gives me answers, Captain just increases my board state, and he's intending to kill me. by Drilling Sight into Deliverance, which keeps his stuff alive. Unfortunately, I do have the Fall, I do have the Widow, so this really is not a threat to me. I even have the tank. You know, so I'm hoping both heals go face here, so I'm on 19, and luckily enough for me they do. 1 heal over here would have been fine, 2 would have been bad. I do decide to play the tank here, so we're not sacrificing our board state. There's nothing he could play here other than the bounce. That would hurt me, and then he's not getting stealth. So after that play, I was like, yep, GG. Gets rid of that, I'm like, okay, where's the bounce? Where's the bounce? And no bounce. And so there, that's lethal. So overall, very close game, but Santa just played his game. I kept myself out of lethal range by playing Nebula and Shields at the right time, and that's really what you got to do. And that, at the end of the day, is GG for Game 2. So after playing Santa here, I was really betting on him, expecting me to play Khan because of the RM and nerf, which has put 1000 Suns into the ground. They're a shadow of what they were. Now, I'm going to show you my Armin deck that I have made. Now, this works quite well. There are some tech choices for the matchups, like Ravage City. Like this can be changed out, and Nebula as well for different cards as well. But they're very good in the matchups that I've got. So I decided to play those in here. Now, 2 Ravage City probably wasn't the best. 1 would have been fine, but for me, it was just early game cycle that could have been fine for me to get to better stuff. But this is the deck I've been running with. It actually goes okay on ladder. I've been playing a couple 100 points just outside of top 50, and it has been going okay. I did test with my teammates for the World Cup, and we were doing okay with this. It was fine against Horus, and it's fine against Korax. Against Gilly, it is really dicey. It's very hard to beat Gilly. Even pre-nerf, Ironman was hard pressed to beat Gilliman with the amount of shit he had. I did consider taking a Ravage City out for a Urtzi, just in case he did play Gilly, because it does kill those big vehicles at the end. But I was like, it's useless against Korax. I'm expecting him to play Korax, you know, ideally. But I really should have put it in. Regardless, this is the deck. Let's get into Game 3. Now, unfortunately for me, he does play Gilly, and that feels really bad. We open okay. I might have wanted to throw the second Rhino as well, but I only throw 1 and I keep Command Bridge because I feel as if I need a turn 1 play. And we are going second as well, which sucks. I really would have liked to go first in this matchup, but because our counterattack is not useful in this matchup, and his counterattack is not useful either. So going first here would have been very nice, but it's okay. We start off with Command Bridge. We get Leticia because we need the draw. We need answers here. I need more cards. Like, him having cards is fine. I need cards. Would have liked to open the Recon, which is now dope. This card's back to being absolutely amazing, by the way. It pays for itself to tutor up a tactic. And then he's not only is he gone first, but he ramps. So I'm like, okay, that's bad. That's really bad for me. We land one of the new best cards for 1000 Suns Sect, and I pick up the Ashen Blow here because I'm like, for his big vehicles at the end, which is his entire deck, is the big shit at the end, I'm going to need the Ashen Blows. So hopefully I can pull up enough Psychic Energy to get it. Now, he Retributions here and draws up, and that's fine. He's going to have 6 cards in his hand, 1 is his Reckoning, so 5 cards I can potentially pick from. If I get a good pull off patterns, I win this game because he can't deal with it. If I can pull a 9-drop, I win. I also top deck Ore, which feels good. So I play patterns here, and unfortunately my picks aren't great, but we grab the Captain. And since I'm at 10 cards, I decide to use my counter attack here. Now, I was dumb here and didn't think he could play the Captain because he was an energy off, but I forgot he ramped. So he plays it, and he's got 2 5/5s on field, and I'm like, not good. Very not good for me right now. Not feeling great. I thought a lot about my turn here, about how I was going to deal with this, and I came up with the best way to deal with this was to land this, play Corvo, and kill his Corvo by swinging at it. Really didn't feel good, but I had to try it, right? I had to try it. He cycles up, which is interesting, I thought, and he lands his Honor Guard. I'm like, ooh, that's bad. Not great for us. Again, here, I am and ah about what I'm going to do. I decide to use my Ashen Blow here that I generated. Use all my Psychic Energy just to get rid of it. I want to even out the field because I've got a plan. We land the Recon and we land Merrick Squad. Now, this card is now one of the best cards in 1000 Suns. +1/+1 to all of your troops. Now, in hindsight, something that I should have done here was instead of playing this, I should have only played this, and I should have nebulaed. That way this was fully protected, and I could have planned all the next turn along with the recon, and then buffed everything, right? And that would have been a great turn for me, but I decided I wanted to flood here, and I figured if he's got an answer for this, as in shoot for 5, then he's not shooting me my face, right? I figured that's fine, I'll live with it. Unfortunately, he does have the cruiser, and he does get rid of it, but I'll cop it. It is what it is, you know? That's fine. I'll live. And he starts to get rid of the recon. Now here, his next turn, he's going to go to 9 energy. Chances are he has a big vehicle in his hand. So I decide that this turn, I'm going to make his... Oh, we get Ash and Blow here off our recon, which feels good. We're not quite there, but with my plan, we will be there. We land the ore to protect everything, but he can still land his big-ass Dreadnought and shoot this off. Right? That's what can happen here. But I decide to Nebula. And that way he can't play his big courage things and shoot my shit. He can't shoot me for 5, he can't shoot me for 6. It puts him dead in the water for this turn. He really wants to do some big damage. So for me, that felt really good, not to mention that I'd be able to get enough energy for Ash and Blow. He plays his Mortar Strike, it hits the Photep. Now, I would have preferred it to hit the Cabal, but as long as it didn't hit my face or ore, we were fine. So that was just fine for me. We go to 5 Psychic Energy, which feels pretty good. We've got the Ash and Blow for next turn guaranteed at least. We land some protection for this so that we don't have to deal with it. We get Dew back down, and I'm feeling quite fine here. His deck is just about to start coming into its own, and he still has a lot of HP, so it's still anyone's game, but I'm not out of it yet. That was a pretty lame pull off Dew back, but it is what it is. In comes the Dreadnought, but we've got the Ash and Blow for it, so it's fine. So my turn, I had a lot of decisions to make. Easy decision was Ash and Blow here. Got to get rid of it. Unfortunately, that is my Ash and Blow out of the deck gone, so we have to really push field now. We want to land the pen through, that's feeling good. We've got the front line down for this, just trade it out. I do decide to attack with Dew back here because I know that if this game goes on for too much longer, he's going to win. We get Adaptable Tactics, which means he's running this in his deck, which means he expected to fight Khan. And I'm okay with that. Play Sect, the Stellark, and unfortunately it does hit my Penthu, which really sucks. Either of the other troops would have been fine. Penthu was definitely the worst hit for me. And here's where I feel disgustingly bad. I want you to look at this right now and ask yourself what you would do. I want you to even pause the video if you feel like it. Decide in your head exactly what you would do here. Now, there are kind of two lines of thinking here. The only way... I can't let this hit me, right? If this hits my face, I'm going to be so far down, it's going to suck, right? Maybe I should let it hit me and go down to the 18 life. I don't know. But you swing at it for 3, we can speeder it, and we can ankro it. And that's our entire turn to get rid of it. On the flip side, we can abandon supplies, try and draw into something, smack it, ankro it, smack it with face. You know, all that sort of stuff. Maybe that's what... should have done. Maybe it should have been better to play the abandoned supplies, but what I end up doing was I decide that I really don't want to take the damage here. So we get Ankro back in deck, which this was probably not the best decision to make. This turn was probably really bad for me because I sacrificed so much just to get rid of it. Like, he's feeling great right now. He's feeling amazing. We just spent 3 cards to get rid of 1 and had a dead turn. So that's feeling really bad for me. Now, what I'm thinking is he still has a Dreadnought in deck, and that's his only threat left. So I'm feeling okay with that. He's on 17. I'm feeling okay. If I can anchor him, that puts him down. If I can board wipe with my Astral Warfare, that's 4 more damage, so to speak. That's 8. That puts him to 9. Hopefully, if we can jam a bit more damage in, we'll feel better. So we think into our Terminators, and that actually feels pretty good. Right? Now, I make a big mistake here. Not really a mistake, but should have played it differently. I was thinking about flush changing this to have the energy up so he couldn't trigger courage as well. But I didn't, and he plays No Fear, which he generated off his thing, and that puts it up massive, and I'm crying. He then gives it sneak attack, and I'm crying even more. Don't know why he didn't shoot this for 2 first, then attack and get some tactics, but he wants to draw that. That's why he did. And at this stage, I'm like, I'm dead. I'm literally dead in the water. Like, what do I do? What exactly do I do here to win this game? We top deck abandoned supplies. I'm like, okay, well, we do that. And we draw into this. This is very good for us. So, just to show you this now, right? Actually, I'll wait till the end of the turn and tell you what I'm thinking, right? We protect it. We smack face for 3, and we smack face for 2 with our Warlord. Right? So now, on our turn, we've got 2 damage, which puts him to 8. We're going to go up to 4 Psychic Energy, right? Play this, Flesh Change for another 6, that puts us to 10 Psychic Energy. We can use this ability 5 times, giving us +5. Right? So we've got lethal. Right? This is threatening lethal. Whether he sees it or not, it's threatening lethal. Why the fuck are you playing this? If you expected me to play Khan, why the fuck are you playing this? There is one target in my deck for it. And that was it. And I think it's pretty easy to tell right now who wins this game, guys. He just heals out of the range. And now I'm dead in the water. What exactly do I do here? Unfortunately, with that massive Nurse 1,000 Suns, we're just so far out of it, it's ridiculous. You know, landing all this stuff doesn't even feel good. We're just trying to protect the recon so we can potentially draw some stuff, but we can't sacrifice our Psychic Energy because we're going to need it for our border wipe. I'm still thinking, okay, well, Anko gets him to 8. The border wipe might get him to think, oh, look, he's just going to heal 7. Big oof. Big oof, guys. Just big oof. I'm not feeling great here. It's game 3 in the semis. Unfortunately, 1,000 Suns nerf absolutely wrecked me. And I'm like, okay, what do I draw? What could I possibly draw to help me here? I got a 5 Psychic Energy, not enough to do anything. What could I possibly draw? Oh, look, Mel! Great! Great! So that's the games, guys. That's the games. Unfortunately, we could not do it. I was hoping Ahriman would pull it out, but unfortunately not.
It was a calculated risk.
We played some really good turns with some stuff that felt really good, but with that massive nerf, we just could not pull it out, so that sucks. Now it's down to Fulgrim versus Balgard. Now, the good thing is that Balgard is also running Ahriman. He's actually running pretty similar Warlords to me. I've got Ahriman and Santa. He has Ahriman and Santa. The difference is I'm running Card and he's running Vulcan. So that's okay. He's got a better choice than me. Like, he doesn't have to run Ahriman. If he does, I think it's a bad decision by him because Vulcan's so much better in every way to Ahriman now. The only reason I wasn't going to run Khan is because he just wasn't good against those 3 Warlords. There was so much heals or hiding or whatever that it wasn't going to go well for me. If I could play my 3rd Warlord, I would have, but it just wasn't going to work in these matchups. So unfortunately, we did lose there. I have every single faith that my teammate Fulgrim will beat Balgard in their matchups, but we will see how things go. As of recording this video, they should be playing within a couple of hours. So I think it's currently 7 PM for me. They should be playing at 10 PM. This video will be uploaded not too long after I finish watching this video. So I really hope that that match goes our way and we get into the finals. Because I don't know how many people watching this remember. Last year we were in the World Cup. Myself and Fulgrim with our we've got Mercury on our team at the moment, but at the time for last year it was myself, Fulgrim, and Invictus, and we lost out to France in the semi-finals. Ended up coming 3rd in the tournament. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully we don't get beat by them again, but it is what it is. I blame the 1,000 Suns nerf, but it does affect us as much as it affects them, even though it does, I think, impact my Warlock lineup more than it affects Balgard's Warlord lineup. Anyways, guys, once this is over, if we lose, I'll do an update video. If not, I'll see you guys in the finals, where we're either versing Canada or Germany. At the time of recording this video, Germany is up 1-0. Konstantin Valdor did beat LCFR, so it is what it is. Anyways, guys, have a really great afternoon, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!